Night the bloodline ends forever. Kill them all.
This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one. Only together can we stand a chance.
Let's fight like demons.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. When the fear is gone, only I will remain.
Hey YouTubers and all alike, welcome to an all new video. So in this video we're going to be reviewing a new film that just got released on HBO Max and into theaters on the 22nd. And this is just a epic remake, reboot, if you like to call it, of a film that was an amazing novel back in the 60s that Frank Herbert wrote for us that is just a really amazing film. And it's just going to be a blast to talk about. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so to miss this video or any other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where I post pretty much on a regular basis. So definitely check those out too. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all new video. So in this video, like I said, we're going to be talking about a new film that just got released on HBO Max and into theaters on the 22nd of October. And it's based off of a novel from Frank Herbert that is pretty much a remake and kind of a reboot a little bit, but sticks more to the traditional material, I feel, if you are familiar with the book. And I think that this film was just superb, so much fun, and just really well done. And that, of course, is the film called Dune. Yeah, Dune. Yeah. So Dune 2021, or it's also known as Dune Part 1, because we will be getting a second film, as WB has confirmed in Legendary that we are officially getting a second film with how successful this one is. And basically this film is just a really well done recapturing of this awesome novel. I haven't had a chance to read the novel, but I have seen a lot of videos and stuff like that on the differences and on the similarities that the actual novel and how they did this Dune and how similar and how pretty much accurate this film was on point. Now this film just has a really superb cast. It's really amazingly done and it was so well directed by its director. Now this film was directed none other by an amazing director who has had nothing but great accomplishments throughout his awesome career. And that, of course, is Mr. Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, Denis Villeneuve, or however you say it in French. I'm sorry, Denis. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But Villeneuve, who is an amazing director. You might recognize the director of Arrival, of course, and several other films over the years that have just been really well done and really liked. And this, director is just a really superb director because anything I've ever seen him do, some of them I haven't really enjoyed as much as this one, but at the same time, he still has such a great eye. He has such an amazing talent of what to bring to life and just what, encompasses the film and makes it very enjoyable. Now, one film I really enjoyed that he directed and is tied with Dune for my favorite of his directed films is none other than a great film that came out in 2017 as a sequel from a 1982 film called Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, Blade Runner 2049. Yeah. So Denis, made this such great sequel that is, 30 plus years later since the last film was made, and is just a really amazing accomplishment. From the graphics to the story to the acting, all involved with it just made it so awesome and so amazing. And I just really enjoyed the whole concept of it. I love that, Ryan Gosling's character being one of the, robots that we're familiar with in the original one from '82. The bringing back of Harrison Ford was so clever, but everything about this film was just so beautifully directed, from the scenery to the music to just the action sequences and just the sequences of lots of great, interesting retrospects to give you a huger, grander view of this universe that Blade Runner is about. And Dennis did such a great job in bringing this such a great, grand film and a great sequel to, a very well-received film done by Ridley Scott. And I just thought that he really captured what, basically what the Blade universe is and what it really was about. Really superbly directed. If you haven't seen Blade Runner 2049, definitely check out for Dennis's performance as directing. He did such a great job, made a really fantastic film and a great sequel to that universe. Now, when it comes to his directing of Dune, he was amazing. Oh my god, he made this film so entertaining, so fun, and just really encapsulated what the Dune universe was about. I really enjoyed the fact, too, that they only did a third of the book in just this one movie. I love that he didn't rush it and that he wants to do it piece by piece and give us a full encompassingness of what the Dune book is about. And he did such a great job of bringing everything to life and giving us very accurate, looking, from the ships to the look of the universe to the characters and everything. He gave us a really well-rounded version of what Dune is about and what that book is about. And I just think he did such a great and superb job. If you haven't seen anything that Dennis has done in any of his films, definitely check them out. They're all really well done. And definitely check out Dune because he did a superb job with it. So this film has a really outstanding cast, like I said before. We have a lot of characters that are introduced in this film. Don't have a lot of screen time, but there are certain characters that have a lot of screen time and they were very entertaining, awesome, and just really enjoyable. Now, to start us off, of course, is the main character himself, Mr. Paul. That is, of course, Mr. Timothy Chalamet! Oh yeah, Timothy Chalamet! Woo! Timothy Chalamet! Woo! So Timothy Chalamet you might recognize from a slew of films in the last 4 or 5 years. He's become a really well-known name and is just a really enjoyable actor. But one film I really enjoyed him in and thought he was really fantastic and showed his acting chops in was the great remake from 2019 of Little Women. Yeah, Little Women. Yeah. Absolutely loved Little Women. That was such a fantastic film, so well directed by Greta Gerwig, and just a really great reimagining of the story. I mean, I really enjoyed the 1994 version, but this 2019 version was really well done too. And Timothy was really amazing in this film. I really enjoyed him as the character he was, and I just thought that his chemistry and his relationship with the characters in the film just worked really well off of each other. And I just thought that he brought a realness to the character like the original character did in the 94 version. And I just thought that Timothy did such a great job of giving us great emotion and great comedy a little bit too in the film, and giving us this really great new take on this character. Whereas, it wasn't just straightforward, very drama-y. There was a lot of great elements to it that was really well written and just gave us a whole new flavor of this character that Timothy played. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought he did a superb job in this film and just showed how good of an actor he is. If you haven't seen Little Women 2019 for Timothy's performance, he did a really great job in it. But when it comes to his performance as Paul in the film of Dune, I really enjoyed him. I wasn't too sure about him at first, but at the same time, I knew he was a decent actor, but I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about his character. He did such an awesome job. I was really impressed. I loved everything he brought to the character. I loved his emotion. I loved his relationship with his father, and I loved his relationship with his mother, and I enjoyed the relationship he had with, learning about his powers and what person he is and what kind of race he is and all this kind of stuff. And just the aspects he brought to the character were just really well-rounded and really enjoyable. If you haven't seen Timothy Chalamet in anything, definitely check him out in Dune. He was really awesome in it. The next actor I'd like to talk about is another great character that had some pretty decent screen time in this film and was a really awesome, enjoyable character. I really enjoyed him as this character, and I just thought his relationship with Timothy Chalamet in the film was just really well done and just really cohesive and felt like a real relationship. It just was so superb. And And that, of course, is Mr. Oscar Isaac. Oh yeah, Oscar Isaac. Woo, Oscar Isaac. Yeah. I absolutely love Oscar Isaac from everything he's done, from Apocalypse and X-Men, Apocalypse to films like Ex Machina and so forth and stuff like that. He's just an awesome and amazing actor, and I just really enjoy pretty much anything he's ever in. He just everything, like his performance, even if I didn't care for the movie, his performance though in the film I still love, and I just think he's just a really fantastic actor. But one film I really enjoyed him in and thought he was really fantastic in is just a really awesome drama thriller film that has Jessica Chastain in it. And I just think it's a really well-rounded film. And that, of course, is a film called A Most Violent Year. Yeah, A Most Violent Year. Yeah, this movie is superb. So well done, so well executed, and just a superb film. And Oscar Isaacs just acted the crap out of this film. I loved his character. I loved the realness he brought to the character. And I just loved every aspect of what he did with the film. And his relationship with Jessica Chastain in the film was just so superb too as well, and very well connected, and felt real. It felt like they were really a married couple. It felt like they really were in this business together. And I just thought they worked together so well. It gave us a really superb performance. But Oscar just really brought a greatness to the character. His grittiness, his objectiveness to the character was spot on. And just really well developed, and gave us this really superb performance that he definitely deserved all the recognition he got for this performance. If you haven't seen A Most Violent Year, definitely check out Oscar in it. He is so good and so amazing in the film. But when it comes to his performance in Dune, I really enjoyed him as Timothée Chalamet's father's character, as the king of their world. And I just really enjoyed their relationship that they had, and I loved the realness he brought to the character. And I really enjoyed that, how they felt really like father and, son dynamic. And I just thought Oscar did a good job of portraying this character and giving us a very different interpretation versus the 1984 version. Or even in the book, I felt it was very accurate to the book and gave us a lot more of what we were looking for from the book itself. And I just thought that Oscar did a great job of researching that and giving us a very superb performance. Even though it wasn't a huge part, there was a good chunk of the latter part of the film where we didn't get to see him. Still, that beginning section, that first third of the film where he's in was just so amazing and such a great performance. If you haven't seen Oscar Isaac in anything, definitely check him out in Dune. He was so awesome in it. Before we talk about our final actress that we'll be talking about in this film, I just wanted to go on some honorable mentions that didn't have super huge roles in this film, but are going to be key characters later down in the future films. Such as Dave Bautista. He had an interesting part in it. It was very short, but I can see where the character is going to be going, and I can see that it's going to be a very interesting character to watch later down in the films. You also had Stellan Skarsgård in his character. He had a pretty good chunk of, film in this film, but still was a really well-rounded performance and just really enjoyable. You had such actors that just were really superb, like Josh Brolin had a great little bit in the film that we didn't get very much from. You also had Zendaya later on the film, Javier Bardem. You had a whole bunch of different actors and actresses that had small parts, which will have bigger aspects down later in the future films that I think are great honorable mentions. So, if you're a big fan of any of those guys, definitely check out Dune for their performance too. But that brings me to the final actress I'm going to be talking about that was in this film, and that is none other than Miss Rebecca Ferguson! Oh yeah, Rebecca Ferguson! Woo! Rebecca Ferguson! Yeah! Rebecca Ferguson, such an amazing actress. Really enjoy her. She's a great actress, but at the same time, I think she still has a lot to learn and gain as an actress as well. But at the same time, I think she's very enjoyable in most movies that she's been in that I've seen. I've enjoyed her character. I think she does a pretty decent job. Now, her character in this film, I just thought was a really great interpretation of that character, and so different than the 1984 version that was a lot more book accurate, and I thought an interesting take on the character, which is Timothée Chalamet's character, Paul's mother in the film, who is also that special race that has these abilities that Paul has inherited as well. Now, Rebecca, you might recognize from a slew of things over the years. She's done lots of foreign films. She's done regular films over here, and is just a pretty, well-rounded actress that has had quite a few different, credits to her name. Now, what film I really enjoyed her in, and I think is one of the first films I actually saw her in, is a great film and a great franchise that, is going to be soon getting another installment in another year or so, and is just a really fun film. And then, of course, the film called Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Yeah, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Woo, love this film. And Rebecca Ferguson as kind of like the main female interest in this film was so awesome and fun. The scene where she goes and she has to dive in and save Tom Cruise when he's holding his breath underwater was such an amazing, awesome scene. They kicked butt in that scene. She was just really fun in every interaction she had with Tom Cruise throughout the film. And I just liked the toughness and the vulnerability she brought to the character. I really liked that she was different than the previous female characters that they've had in these films, and she was very different. And I like that she is kind of like a macho type of chick where she can take her own and kick butt and all that kind of stuff, and she has her own agenda that is a part of the film's storyline as well, which I think is really awesome. I just think she did a really amazing job in that film. If you haven't seen Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible, definitely check it out for Rebecca's performance. She was actually really good in it. Now, like I said, when it comes to her performance in Dune, like I said, I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought she did a superb job. I thought she did a really well-rounded job. And I thought that she complimented everyone that she interacted with throughout the film. From Timothée Chalamet to Oscar Isaac to Stellan Skarsgård to all the different characters she interacts with. I thought she was a really great addition to the film and just a really well-done perception and different characterization of this awesome character from the book. I really enjoyed her as Paul's mom. I think she's doing a really great job, and I can't wait to see what she does with the character as the movies go on. Really well-rounded performance. If you haven't seen Rebecca Ferguson, I think definitely check her out on Dune on HBO Max and in theaters now. She did a really great job. So what is Dune about? Basically, the portion of the book that they mention in this film is basically there's this world that needs a new leader, and Oscar Isaac's character, Timothée Chalamet's character, Rebecca Ferguson's character are a part of that group of people who are, that are selected to go to this new planet and to take it over and rule it. And basically the premise of this portion of the film is basically about kind of Paul coming to terms with, what's going on in the world, what he needs to do to kind of learn about the world, learning about his heritage, his powers, and this stuff, and kind of seeing what he needs to do to help, stop this craziness from these different interplanetary galaxies and stuff from trying to take over each other to get peace and harmony. It's a really fantastic film, really well done, really enjoyable, and I just thought it was a really well done first part to this awesome book. Like I said, Denis did such a great job of giving us this first part. Can't wait to see what he does with the second part, and gives us, more and awesomeness. There was such great action, great story, and all around just a really well-rounded film. I give this one giant 10 golden movie boxes up. I was really impressed with it. I did not really care for the 1984 version. I think this one is far superior, not just because of the technology has gotten better, but just because I think that this is so much more accurate to the book and just a better performance by all. And just I think it was better directed. Really fantastic film. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out on HBO Max now or go to the theaters and see it. It's really worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older new videos you might have seen. As always, people, if you want to share support for this channel, definitely check out my links down below, either for the Patreon page, where I do bloopers, outtakes, and all that kind of cool stuff, where you get extra bonuses for being a subscriber on there, or you can also check out my Horror Pack link, where you can get great horror films to your door for a great low price. So definitely check that out too, people. As always, catch you in the next one.